Alright everyone, sorry about that. Assuming anyone was watching, which I don't think anyone was. Basically the problem we had there is I was using Nestopia as my emulator for this. And the quality was pretty crap. The music was off, I was getting like lag. So I'm trying FCE UX now. Which, if I recall correctly, I had some positive experiences with last time. I don't want a crappy red mage, screw that. Now, the lack of black magic early on is going to be a bit of an issue, but I'll get over that at about mid-game. And I got to plug in my phone real quick. And as I was saying before, I really love that this game, I wouldn't say it rewards you for checking minor things. I mean, but it kind of is a reward. I mean, if you think about the time that the game was released, that little flavor text is just pretty good. Lucan's Prophecy, huh? Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna repeat a lot of the same stuff. But if you're watching later, you'll never know, because I'm gonna delete the previous stream. As for my party selection here, you can't go wrong with at least one fighter. I don't like to have doubles on my team, so there's that. The Thief is really important. He's not quite as powerful physically as a fighter. His main purpose is thieves have a higher chance of running in battle if they are in the second slot, so long as the third and fourth characters have good health, they aren't poisoned or anything. And in this game, being able to run away from enemies is like key. That's one reason people think this game is so hard, I feel. Running away seems almost impossible. And just enemies are terrible. Other reason being the money situation, which leads me to my third character, Hal, my black belt. Early on, yes, you have to equip the black belt, but at, I want to say around level 10 to 15, he becomes powerful enough that he is actually stronger without armor or weapons on.
No weapon.
by the end of the game, the black belt actually has the potential to be stronger than a fighter decked out with the meanest gear. So essentially it's like a low-cost, low-maintenance unit. And my white mage, you'll get items around the halfway point that let you cast level 2 elemental magic. And I just feel that healing is a far more important thing to worry about right now than magic. I mean, I would rather be able to cast Cure 3 than, like, Fire 3. Magic charges are so limited anyway.
What are they limited to?
What's that?
I said, what are they limited to?
You get like one spell charge in a certain level of your magic. They go up to level 8. White mages, black mages can learn, well, once they become wizards, they can learn up to level 8 in their respective element, or like type. But the problem is red mages cannot learn the highest level magic. And if I only had a white mage, or a black mage, or a red mage, I wouldn't be able to learn the best cure magic. Invisible NPC. Garland used to be a good knight until... Until what? I remember Jake and I tried to stream this game. Well, it wasn't a stream so much as a let's play. Back then we had really bad equipment. We were just using like a video camera. It's interesting how far
I remember doing that.
Yeah. We've come so far with streaming technology in just like 3 years. It's crazy.
I used to record myself playing Quake and 64 and Doom 64 on VHS.
It's been forever since I heard anything about Doom.
Yeah. That was a crazy game. For back in the day.
But, yeah, I think this is a pretty balanced team. Between my 3 physical fighters, I'm going to do decent damage throughout. The red mage is nice to have, but you're splitting resources between magic and attacking, and I'd rather just play it simple. 1 dedicated healer,
I agree.
and 3. The problem with magic in this game is that black magic is so neutered. I mean, with those 9 spell charges that you can get for each level, you run out of your magic so fast. I would rather have limited heals that are actually really useful, and unlimited black magic that's not super strong, but strong enough to do elemental damage. That's one thing I really love about Final Fantasy 1. It has, like, a really interesting system set up with your characters. They're all useful in their own way. It's such an old game that it doesn't, like, come right out and tell you all of these mechanics and how the characters work properly. Because when I was a kid, I always thought that the black belt was, like, totally useless. Until I did some research later on and realized, wait a minute, that's because I was equipping him with stuff and, like, basically limiting his power.
Yeah, dude, I went back to a bunch of games and you realize, like, how much more overpowered you could get and all kinds of stuff. Using skills wrong.
Right. And basically, that's why I feel that Final Fantasy 1 is not the hard game that people make it out to be. It's actually fairly easy if you use the system right. I never have to grind. I never run out of money, because I have an idea of where I'm going to get weapon upgrades in advance. Like, why buy the 10,000 gold piece sword when you know that you're going to get the 8,000 gold piece sword in the dungeon up ahead?
Exactly. I like the idea of finding gear, but, you know, I wouldn't mind, like I said, if there's a game where, right from the beginning, the merchant in each town listed everything you can buy right there, but you just can't
Okay,
buy
I
it all
get
right
that.
away, right? You have to earn it. I think that'd be awesome.
There has to be a game that does that.
I'm sure there is, but I just feel like I've not seen that very often.
I'm amazed by how much better the quality is with this emulator. Oh my god. It's weird that Nestopia is so bad. Like, I don't understand that, considering it's like rated 8.6, the same as this one. God, like I said earlier, I'd much rather just be playing my cartridge, but since I can't do that, this'll have to suffice. That's why I prefer cartridges, honestly, for the most part. I mean, you don't end up with the ridiculous compatibility issues, because they're just made to work with the console.
Yeah.
Damn auto-targeting. Dude, what time do you have?
Do I have?
Yeah, I can't look at my clock while I'm playing. Oh, I could...
109.
109? Okay, I was gonna say I could check my phone, I didn't think of that. Okay, so let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That means I can stay up until about 3 at the latest. I try to be well rested before I go to work. It doesn't always happen, but while I'm able to, I'd like to keep it up.
I agree, man. It's good to go into work with a little bit of sleep.
I've been going and drinking Red Bulls lately. Partially to keep me awake and partially, well, not keep me awake, get me awake. And partially just because Red Bulls are amazing.
Yeah. And that new one's not too great.
I don't like the new Red Bull. I think it sucks.
It's like a V8 or something.
Well, these spiders are gonna take me down. After all I've done to be a friend to spiders, this is the thanks I get. I saw Spider-Man 3 in theaters. Are there rad spiders in New Vegas?
They're spiders.
They're not rad.
I don't think they call them rads. No, they're not rad spiders.
No one touches my princess. Light warriors? You impertinent fools. I, Garland, will knock you all down. Famous line. This dude is such a wuss. Really, I feel like in this day and age, emulation is the best way to go for old games if you have an HD TV. Because of the upscaling, it just looks infinitely better.
Yeah.
That's one reason I keep an SD TV, just so I can play those. But, I mean, After doing all of this streaming, I feel like if I didn't have an SD TV, I would be able to do this and be satisfied with it. Make the orbs shine, huh? One thing I really like about the original Final Fantasy is it doesn't give you that annoying bridge building scene that you get in the remakes. I really, really hate the Final Fantasy Origins remake. I wouldn't say I hate it. I don't like it that much. I feel like they've upgraded the graphics, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. I feel like in updating the game's system, they've really like ruined a lot. The Origins port was okay because it kept the same engine basically. I hated Dawn of Souls. I did hate that one. They took out the spells per day system and replaced it with MP, which when I was younger I liked. I hated spells per day, but now I find that it just breaks the game. That previously mentioned issue with the black magic being neutered. I mean, I'd rather have black magic that's like not the most useful in the world than black magic that I can just use and use and use and destroy everything instantly with. In the first instance of the Final Fantasy theme, Nasser. I've actually done some research into this Nasser character. Apparently, he programmed all of the original Final Fantasy games, the original 3. I don't believe he's done that much else. Yoshitaka Amano does some amazing art, also famous for doing Sandman. I don't know about the producer, or whatever that last credit was. I've not heard of him or her. I'm surprised there was no mention of Hironobu Sakaguchi. Your dude's pretty durable. It's a medium armor class. That's a big plus. Oh, Mad Pony. I am just so ready for the weekend, I'll tell you that. Shit, I forget. You said you were going out of town at least one day. Do you not know what day that'll be yet?
I'll know by tomorrow.
Okay, keep me updated. Because I'd be open to do something. Because I got like that Resident Evil 5 even.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you, what was that other one? There's like a multiplayer Uncharted or something?
Yes, I will get that downloaded if you're interested. Uncharted 2 has multiplayer, I think, but I've not messed with it yet. But if the multiplayer plays at anything like the single player, it should be a lot of fun. I assume you would like it. You, I'm trying to think of something I could even compare it to. To Kellis B. Hassan. A magic spell. And if you read it backwards, push B select. You were not a big fan of Scott Pilgrim, the game, right?
No, not me.
Alright, no big.
I wouldn't mind something like it, but I just don't care for that type of game, really.
How did you feel about
I mean,
Castle
like, I'd pick
Crashers?
the same. It's just lame to me. I just don't
Okay.
really care for it.
Okay,
It
you
just
said
seems like a
something
Flash
it.
game almost.
Actually, Castle Crashers was. I don't know about
Like,
Scott
let
Pilgrim.
me give you an example.
Yeah.
I'm treating it like I do everything, even like CS. Like, I'd pick River City Ransom over Scott Pilgrim. It just seems a little more interesting to me in that
River
genre.
City Ransom was great. And Hal is dead. And you are dead. Well, before I give up, let's at least see if I can run away and make it back to town. I can. Nope. Death count 1. Oh my god, it's been forever since I saved. Okay, note to self, save constantly from now on. Really, the hardest part of Final Fantasy 1 is right at the very beginning. Once you make it to about the 1/5 to 1/4 mark, the difficulty just drops through the floor.
Getting my helicopter. There we go. Griffey's bringing us back. Do not worry. I've just been getting rolled in Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Kiki.
Is that what you've been playing?
What was that? Was that you?
What, that said Kiki?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. That's what the bat said. I was
Okay.
just reading the bat's dialogue.
There's a real loud sound at the time, I couldn't tell.
Well, I better see how much the end costs before I buy anything. gold, I can live with that. Okay, I've got some healing items. We should be good. And when do we get another level up? 88 points from now. I can live with that.
It's gonna be a while.
Not necessarily. I'd say about 5, 6 battles at the most. Switching villager dialogue. That's not bad for a game of this era. I'd expect a lot less from other games. Oh yeah, that magic spell, push B select. Demonstrate that real quick. And it just shows you a world map. A Gur Imp. Which is of course Grey Imp. One thing that impresses me about this game is if you look at the enemy art that Yoshitaka Amano made, the enemy sprites are surprisingly accurate to that original concept art. these things are just nightmare fuel.
What's that?
They're called creeps. They're like, I don't even know how to describe them. They're like terrifying tentacled lips with teeth. I like to run into a ogre. Those things give great experience.
What do the ogres give?
I can't
Give
remember. No, they just give good experience. Yes, fleshy sacks of creep, trying it. Welcome to the stream. I'll be here for another hour at least before I have to pass out.
Welcome back to the show.
Alrighty. I never even know if anyone is in here watching anymore. For some reason my Twitch chat's like been glitching up on me and it's not even telling me who's in here. Damn auto-targeting. I'm considering doing a master run of this and just not getting my job changes. I've never done that before. I've always wanted to. And for that matter, I'm going to try to get through the game as quickly as possible, which also makes it not exactly a speed run, but sort of speed running. Well, I got that level up I've been waiting on. 16, 11, 153. 11. So actually, yeah, at this point, my black belt is better off naked. Because your defense rate, labeled as absorb, for the black belt anyway, is equal to its level. My cloth armor is only providing, what is that, 1 defense. Which is one reason I love the black belt so much. By level like 20, he's got 20 defense. It's really kind of filthy. Best NPC dialogue ever. Help! No context whatsoever. Oh, the town's been invaded by pirates. That explains a lot, actually. Can't afford any new magic yet. Perhaps a weapon, though. No weapons. At least tell me I can afford armor. wooden shield. I don't know about these gloves though. It's gonna get pretty expensive. I'll just wait till I have more money. I'll buy one pair of gloves for Lucy. Of all the characters,
Lucy?
Yeah, that's my white mage. Of every character, she needs it most. I'm Vicky the Pirate. These guys are wussies at least.
Oh no, I'm lagging out.
Now, what are you playing this on? Steam?
No. I'm playing it on the, retail version, but
Oh, okay.
I'm lagging out.
Yay, I got a ship. If a
Such a
pirate...
good game so far, too.
Do what? Now I've got some money. There's another Easter egg here, but I can't remember if it's... Yeah. Hold in the A button and press B 55 times and you get to do this. Little puzzle. The rewards are so minuscule, they're not really worth it. You get 100 gold for completing the puzzle. We're gonna do it just for funsies, though. Possibly we're not gonna do it because I'm terrible at it. we got one row done. I'll get it, don't doubt me. I get my 100 gold. Which I'm thinking, I feel like that's barely enough to do anything relevant with. Especially when my fighter is stunned. least the Hagans have amazing evasion. Hammer of Justice. I'm growing rather concerned about my thief. Especially in light of the fact that none of these characters are killing anything. Lucy coming through with a heal. Well, there we go. That's what I needed. 66 experience and 200 gold. saved a princess, now they want us to save a prince. Okay, let's see what we got here. What are the stats on that large knife? Well, we'll at least buy Black Belt a iron nunchuck. Problem is that my accuracy is too low. Here lies Erdrick, the excellent dragon warrior reference. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother with armor upgrades right now because all I really want are those copper bracelets. The benefit being, the other reason this game probably seems hard to some is too much focus on defense. Evade is the far better stat. Copper bracelets give you much better evade. If the enemy can't hit you, it can't hurt you. Ah, an ogre, just what I've wanted. I'm not going to consider this grinding so much as shortcutting. I'm going to run back to Provoca, use the money on the way to buy a new weapon for Griff.
That's right.
And stop back at Canaria to heal, as the inn is cheaper there than anywhere else in the game. And it also wouldn't hurt me to grab a couple of cabins or tents or whatever the weakest healing structure is, because that's the only way to save in this game. There we go, there's that level up I've been waiting on. this is going at all. Well, let's try to put the thief's running abilities to the test. He's gonna die before he gets to run, of course. Oh my god, I can't believe he actually ran away. Just barely survived. Now this is gonna eat up all of my money, probably. Yeah. All the money I was gonna use to buy weapons, gone. Alright, I need just enough money to buy that sword.
You don't need that sword.
You need the sword so you can have better accuracy and hit the enemies.
You're gonna become overpowered.
No, I'm underpowered as hell.
Underpowered.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've done a lot more fighting by now. I'm missing, I have like terrible accuracy. Maybe I don't have terrible accuracy. Maybe the Sahagins just have really good evade.
You stink.
How
You just suck at the
dare
game, man.
The game that we just lost.
You need to equip him with a P90.
P90? That isn't in Final Fantasy.
Send him into battle.
What is the P90? Is that the pistol?
P90 is a submachine gun.
Oh.
In a... You remember in the 007 Goldeneye?
Right.
It's like the almost rectangle-looking gun that... That's a long time ago.
No, I want to equip him with a Deagle.
Desert Eagle. Yep.
$120 gold. I'm gonna stick close to port. I will not be abusing the Peninsula of Power in this run. It is an area northeast of Provoca where the programmers made an error and you can encounter enemies from much later in the game. If you can manage to kill them, you can like power level right after the second boss. No, before the second boss even. Why you no hit?
That's what I want to know.
Alright, I'm getting close. And of course, the thief runs away on the first try, just as I was hoping. Good.
Bad.
Oh, good. And finally buy you your sword. I feel like an idiot. I could have bought you the sword 300 gold ago. Oh well. It's just 300 more gold that I'll have to use on other shit. Okay, onward to the Marsh Cave. Oh, red Sahagin. That's never good. Oh, great. Poison. Next time I run into spiders, I'm running away. Better than getting poisoned.
Kiki. Keeker.
Keeker baby?
So I used to call my cat. I
Really?
used to call her Keeker.
So this naming thing is not a new phenomenon.
Nope.
Level up. Okay. Black Belt's defense is going up. That's a plus. Despite being almost completely naked, he still is as defensive as Griffin Lucy. I'm just waiting for him to outgrow that stupid iron nunchuck.
And that beard.
What beard?
That beard he's wearing.
Oh.
You don't see it?
What does it look like, a chin strap?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want any part of this bullshit. Trick with Final Fantasy 1 and the Thief class is knowing when to run away from battles. If you run away from the fights that you know you're going to get decimated in, and fight the ones you know you can win, you're strong enough when you get where you need to be.
Were you reading out of the Bible?
Yes, the Clare Bible. Alright, here, you know, I really didn't, now that I think about it, did not need to do all that money grinding, because I just realized as soon as you get to the Marsh Cave, you can just start collecting items you're not going to use, selling them. The money you get from selling stuff is more than enough to get you started. It's almost like they put garbage in these boxes just so you can earn money by selling it. like that the enemies in the marsh cave are marginally less dangerous than the ones at sea. And I can actually hit them. Oh god, no. Not gargoyles. Bone, bone, bone.
Wolzen.
Rogan. I love that thief. Saving my ass. And now I have practically, let's see, almost 3,000 gold pieces. I suppose I can go back to town now and do some business. A geist. I need to go to bed shortly, but I'm gonna keep going for a little bit.
Straight up.
Working on getting that evasion up.
Never hurts. Good evasion.
See, that's the trick with Final Fantasy 1. The evasion is like such an important stat. When I was younger, I always focused on defense. I ignored evasion, and now I realize it's just the best stat in the game.
They don't hit you, you get to live longer.
Exactly. And the armor that gives you good evasion is cheaper.
Wow. I just went 99 kills and 34 deaths in Call of Duty. I'm usually bad at this one. That's good for now. Call that a night. I got the P90. I got the silencer for it. That's what I was trying to do this whole time.
Nah, fuck that. You need to get a deagle.
I think I might already have one. Maybe gotta unlock it, I don't know.
Truthfully, I just like to say the word deagle.
I usually just play that game and I just use a new weapon every time and try to unlock the silencer for it, and then I call it quits.
I don't even care about fighting these stupid wolves. They don't give nearly enough experience. Just a waste of time. Like I say, I'm surprised. I'm really loving this job. It feels like I never left. I thought it would be awkward going back.
You know, the clingers.
Yeah. monsters perished. Someone's poisoned. Oh, it's you. Why are you poisoned?
Poison.
You need to knock that shit off. And of course I'm out of cures. I hate when enemies poison me. It's not a big deal later in the game, but early on I just don't have enough healing items.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. And I'm poisoned. I'm screwed. Gonna have to reset the game. And of course it's more poison enemies.